Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy and this is Thrift Adventure. Today I have another ship with me video. I do these videos every week and I share the different items that I'm shipping out from day to day. You want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because I always have interesting and unique items, and hopefully you can learn some new things to keep your eyes out for when you're out thrifting. You guys, I am so excited. It is Monday, March 17th. These are sales from over the weekend. And for those of you who watch regularly, you guys know that my sales have been up and down, and they were down kind of last week, but they're up this week. I have some super exciting sales, but the sale prices run the gamut from super high to super low. So just kind of interesting to see the variation of things that I am shipping out. Okay, so we'll start with the pretty exciting one, and it is this vintage multicolor Louis Vuitton bag in the Takashi Murakami print. And for those of you guys who have been watching, you know that I have been experimenting with buying and flipping designer handbags. And you know, I would say it's going pretty well so far. This ended up selling for $845. As you can see, there is some wear and marks consistent with a bag, you know, a vintage bag. This is probably over 20 years old. I had in the listing, you can plug in the date code to a website and it'll tell you when it was made and where it was made. If I remember, I'll link that website in the description box below, because I always like to put that in the listing to kind of, you know, help the buyer feel more confident that the item is authentic, that I've at least verified the date code. I also typically have my bags authenticated a second time. And I've used a few different authentication services. I really recommend that you know, do your own research with what authentication service you use. But Authentic Detective seemed to be reliable for me, and they are pretty affordable. As of the filming of this video, their prices are $10 to authenticate most brands, not including Chanel, but Louis Vuitton. And they come with a certificate of authenticity. I've also used Real Authentication. I've used Zico for Chanel, which is Z-E-K-O. And she is supposed to be the premier authenticator for Chanel. And let me tell you, when I had something authenticated, a Chanel bag through her, it was the most thorough review and authentication that I have ever experienced. Almost to the point of being a little frustrating. And that's not to say anything bad about her, because she is doing a very thorough job, but she wants very detailed pictures that are almost too hard to get, or they were for me. Maybe I just am not skilled. Anyways, that gave me the utmost confidence in her review, and that the Chanel bag was indeed authentic. And I think that's really important when you are investing a large amount in a bag, that you feel confident in the, you know, verification that it is authentic. Anyways, hopefully I'll go into that later in a different video. So this experiment with flipping designer handbags is going well, I would say, although it is not kind of how I traditionally do business as far as profit goes. So this sold for $845. I paid $500 for it plus taxes on Poshmark. I picked it up on Poshmark. So my total cost of goods was $545. After Poshmark fees, my cost of goods, that made my profit $131. So I am happy with a $131 profit. I think this took about a month to a month and a half to sell. Now, when I say this isn't typically how I do business, typically I like to at least triple my money on items. and you know, minimum double my money. But I'm kind of experimenting with this, like I said, and it has been really fun to, you know, get the bags in the mail, hunt and search for good deals on them, and then make a little profit. You know, making $131 profit, I think, is on one item, I think is awesome, especially when I am enjoying myself doing it. So this will be the third bag out of my experiment, and I have made between $450 and $500 on the 3 bags. So I would say that's pretty successful. Let's see, I will add some additional packaging to that. You guys had kind of chimed in. You know, most of you were positive about the experiment so far, and I still haven't done a video on kind of my process for that. Hopefully that is to come. Okay, so now for a few lower dollar sales, but I do have some more higher dollar sales to share with you. So I'm shipping out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items from over the weekend. So that's better than it has been. Okay, the next item is this somewhat vintage faux turquoise and faux silver necklace. I just thought this was a fun stylized piece, and I picked this up in a large lot of jewelry. So I paid a little bit more per item, but there were some really great items that were worth really high dollar amounts. So this ended up selling for $25, which I think is just fine for a kind of fashion jewelry type necklace. It did take a fair bit to sell, maybe over a year even. My average cost of goods for that whole lot was $5 per item. So that made my profit $15. So for the remainder of the video, you can assume when I talk about my profit that I am taking out my cost of goods, any website fees, and any shipping discounts. It would just take me way too long to, you know, figure in all of the other expenses that I have, but of course I do have other business expenses. Okay, so this next sale, I don't know, it's fine, but the buyer put these 2 items in a bundle and offered me less than half of what I had them listed at. I think 60 or 70% of what I had them listed at. At first, I was a little annoyed by the lowball offer, but then I made her a couple counter offers, and then I decided to just go ahead and sell them for a lower price because they are not special pieces of jewelry. These are items that came in lots that I just bought to buy the whole lot, not because I bought the individual piece of jewelry. Anyways, they're gone. They've been listed a while. The bundle sold for $18. And the first thing is this pair of earrings. These are quite cool looking. I do think that they're like a homemade thing based on the way the back is. Again, these were in a lot of jewelry that I bought because I've been doing this so long. Sometimes, you know, word of mouth, people will refer people to me if they have jewelry for sale, and you know, the people will just want to sell it all as a bulk lot, and I'll offer them one price for everything. The next item is just this little charm bracelet. It kind of has, or it definitely has, little teacher inspired charms on it. It is just gold tone metal, no genuine metals or stones on this. This, I think it also came in a lot. So I spent about $3 total for both pieces. So that made my profit $11.40. Really nothing to write home about, but I'm moving out some pieces that just really aren't anything special or exciting. And these are actually, I think a couple of these items are things that I had my brother-in-law photograph for me when he was out of work and kind of needed some work. So I'll do that. I'll have someone photograph things for me, lower dollar items, so that it can be a quick, you know, I just say you need to take 5 photos, front, back, you know, this detail, whatever. Anyways, this is another thing that I had him photograph. It's these, I don't know if they're vintage, they're abalone, they look like abalone, and then they have like a doublet over the top, or whatever they call it. It's like kind of a resin. And I thought these were pretty, but nothing special. They sold for $13. Again, this was on offer. I think this buyer offered me about 40% of what I had these listed at, which is just fine. You know, they're not anything super special, but they're pretty. I paid about $1 for them, so that made my profit $9.05. Again, not anything to get too excited about, but between the two of those sales, that's $20, and $20 is $20. I had another belt sale for you OG subscribers. You guys know that I love selling belts, and I used to sell a lot more, but I am happy to move some of these out. This is just kind of a tan beige colored woven belt. It ended up selling for $20. So I did, last week, I think I mentioned this, I did go through and have my Posher VA reduce every item in my closet by 10%. So let me finish this, I guess. I get distracted. It sold for $20. I only paid about $1 for this at an estate sale, so that made my profit $15. So because my sales were slow last week and it was closet clear out, I decided to give it a try and reduce everything by 10% instead of sending out offers on everything, so that I could, you know, have Poshmark pay for the discounted shipping. And I do have quite a few sales. These people made me counter offers on that, you know, that 10% reduction. So there is that. But I do feel like it created quite a bit of activity in my closet, because all those people got notifications, all those likers got notifications that my item had been reduced. And that's the good thing about doing it that way, as opposed to doing, you know, 20% off or whatever, because only the people, so if you do a 20% off offer to likers that expires after 24 hours, only the people who haven't gotten that offer before will get a notification. Whereas if you reduce the price of the item, every single liker gets a notification. So I just thought I'd give it a try. I'd never really in bulk did closet clear out before, and I wouldn't say it was a home run. I don't know if I'll do it again, but it was definitely worth a try. Let me know what your guys' success has been like with closet clear out, if you reduce a bunch of items or not. Let's see, for my belts, I use the small flat rate box. I also typically use that for my jewelry. Just kind of protects things a little bit better. Okay, now on to another exciting sale. It is this vintage Carhartt coat, and also you OG followers know that I've had really great luck with Carhartt coats in the past. I picked this up relatively recently at the Goodwill for $6.99. It came out on a new rack, and it ended up selling for $250. I think this has only been listed 2 or 3 weeks. I think I listed it as part of my 100 item listing challenge. But anyways, I think that is really great turnaround, great profit. So it sold for $250. I paid $7, so that made my profit $193. I'm so excited about that. Now, would I prefer to spend $7 to make $193 as opposed to the Louis Vuitton bag spending $545 to make $131? Yes, all day long. That makes so much more business sense to not spend as much to have a huge profit. But this just doesn't happen every day. You don't find pieces like this every day to where you can make those big profits. And I have been talking a lot about trying to increase my average sale price, and a lot of you have talked about in the comments that you know, you really see the importance or value of having lower dollar items. And I've said this before, but I want to make sure that you guys know that when I talk about this, it's what I'm trying to do for my business. It's not saying that doing it a different way is the wrong way or a bad way. It's just me. It's just how I want to try and run my business. And that doesn't mean that this way is better than a different way. And I experiment, you know, through time. So don't ever think that I'm trying to, you know, say that is the wrong way. I am noticing some lint on this, so I'm going to package it up off camera. But I was very excited about this. I did have it listed higher at $400. I don't know if you could, yeah, I don't think you can see, but it does have some discoloration. I might have been able to hold out for a little bit higher price on that, but I just decided to turn it and burn it and be really excited with that $193 profit. Okay, the next item is a really fun pair of jeans. I think that these are someone's like home project because it looks like they have like a cut hem, and I don't think this is original, but I thought they were really interesting. These took a long time to sell, over a year. I think I had them priced too high. This Simple Society, I don't even know where that's from. But anyways, I got an offer for $45. I think I originally had them priced at like $89, and then I had reduced and sent out offers, and because they'd been sitting there for a year, I decided it was time to accept that offer. I picked these up at the Goodwill, and I only paid about $6 for them. So that made my profit $30. You know, some of these things I just have to realize that I am not going to get the price that I originally wanted or thought. And so when they've been listed for so long, it's just time to accept offers and move them out, especially with how unpredictable and slow my sales have been on and off. So I did, last week I mentioned that I crashed and burned and I hadn't been listing, but over the weekend I did do quite a few listings. I did some this morning. So I think that, you know, may also have helped. Okay, so that is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell. And if you enjoyed this type of video, like I said, I make these every week, and I would love it if you would subscribe. That way you won't miss any of my future uploads. I do try and share valuable information that I have learned over my 14 years being a reseller. And, you know, we can just learn together and have fun. I really enjoy this community. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, both those things really help me out. Hey again, it's Wednesday and it's been a pretty great couple of days. I have quite a few things to ship out and some higher dollar sales. Plus I had 2 sales on Cherish, which makes me feel like there's some activity happening over there. That makes me happy. Okay, so the first thing that sold on Cherish is a set of 4 of these Greek key gold rim glasses. And I just really loved these glasses, but they have been listed forever and a day. They ended up selling for $78 for the set of 4. I paid about $8 for the set. So after Cherish's fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $55.04. I'm happy to, you know, sell these for that amount and move them along. I don't know why they took so long to sell, but whatever, they are gone. I'm going to package these up off camera. Okay, so the next item that sold on Cherish I've had forever as well, and I think that these have been listed, I don't know, over 2 years. So both of these items I definitely would not recommend picking up if you see them, unless you're wanting to price them a lot lower and try and move through them. These pair of geese sold for $49 for the pair. They are solid brass and they are marked solid brass underneath there. I bought these way back when brass was trending years ago, and I was doing really well with brass, but I kind of missed the boat, I guess. And it does seem like brass is starting to kind of trend again, but you definitely have to be aware, you know, that you're not going to get big bucks for most brass pieces. Sorry for all the commotion here. I wanted to get these at least wrapped in paper. I only paid about $3 for these, so that's the good news. It's not like I was out a big dollar investment all of that time. And you know, when you look up sold comps for brass statues or figurines like this on eBay, the majority of them don't sell for really great dollar amounts. So maybe I just had these priced too high, even at, I think the sale price was $44, plus I had a $5 packaging fee, which is in addition to the shipping fee, and the buyer pays both. So that made my profit $36.32. Happy to move those along and hopeful that the buyer loves them. Okay, the next sale is from one of you guys. Thank you so much, Beth Ann, for your multiple purchases from me. And you always say, you know, send me such kind messages when you make purchases. You have great taste. A lot of the items that you buy, I really like too. And so, you know, it just means a lot when you guys support my business, but more than that, more than the financial aspect is just that, you know, you say nice things and you seem appreciative of the information I'm sharing. Initially, I did start this YouTube channel with my eye on the money prize, and that was the only reason that I was doing this, but I soon learned that there was so very much more to it than that. And just knowing that I help you guys and the information I share is valuable is just means so much to me. So thank you so much, Beth Ann. Okay, the first piece that she bought, and I just listed this last night, and she purchased it in the early morning, my time at least. It is this labradorite beaded necklace. Isn't that just gorgeous? And you can see that these stones have some of that iridescent blue flash in them, which is what we labradorite lovers really love about these stones, or at least that's what I do. She had also purchased a really beautiful labradorite ring from me in the past. This stone is my favorite stone, only second to Rainbow Moonstone, which also has this beautiful iridescent quality to most of the stones. And this was also a designer piece. I used Google image search, and it also had a little tag that was marked, I think, LUC. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what the designer's name was. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen here. But she added both of these items to the bundle and took advantage of my automatic bundle discount. So this bundle sold for $78.30. The second item in her bundle was these really cool kind of modernist earrings. I just loved the hammered look and like artisan brutalist look to them. I paid $5 for the labradorite necklace. And then these earrings, I believe I got at the estate sale where I spent $890. So I only paid about $3 for them. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $58.64. I did get one of these little recycled bags out to put her stuff in, but I think this necklace is going to be too big, so I'm going to have to find something else. But anyways, thank you so much again, Beth Ann. I really appreciate your kindness. Okay, the next sale is a pretty exciting sale. This I did definitely get from the estate sale where I spent $890. It's this really pretty ring, probably ordered from QVC or HSN, maybe JVC, the other home shopping network. But this is by Michael Valitutti, and his pieces are sterling silver with real gold accents and typically genuine gemstones. So they retail, some of them for over $200. And this sold for $110, which I am thrilled about. Like I said, I got it at that sale, so I only paid $3 a piece for the jewelry there. Boy, oh boy, would I like to hit up another one of those sales. Although I have got back on it with listing, and so yesterday I was photographing a bunch of stuff and I dug out some items from that sale that I still hadn't listed yet. Some of the sterling silver from that sale was really tarnished and I just hadn't taken the time to clean it. So some items I will just polish with a silver jewelry polishing cloth. So just look for jewelry polishing cloth. You can get those on Amazon or at Walmart. Or if it's a really intricate piece that I'm not going to be able to easily hand polish, sometimes I will use the solution. If I remember, again, I'll put a picture of it, and it is silver cleaning solution. I don't like to always use that because it is very strong, a very strong solution, and it gives off a terrible strong chemical sulfur smell. And I just don't think it's super healthy to be working with it all the time, but certain things you just can't get in there with a polishing cloth. So anyways, I dipped a bunch of that stuff in there and cleaned up some pieces, and I'm working on getting more stuff from that sale listed. I mean, at this point, I probably in the last couple weeks sold another $1,000 worth of stuff, or maybe $600 worth of stuff. Anyways, I would guess that I'm well over $5,000 in profit from that sale, which just blows me away. Okay, it sold for $110. I paid $3, so that made my profit $85. This sold on Poshmark. And then the next sale is a bundle of 2 teeny tiny charms. And it was pretty hard for me to let these go, but they have both been listed for over a year. I wanted to get more for them just because they're so tiny and unique. But the reality is that they just weren't worth more to someone. So I got an offer for $40 for 2 of the charms. Let's see if I can get these to focus. The first one is this teeny tiny little tricycle charm. It is articulated, meaning that the wheels move and the little handlebars move. And then I was talking about this charm a couple weeks ago. It's a little abacus charm, and these little things on here move. Isn't that just so amazing and intricate? So I think this bundle came out to be about $65 or $68 before, you know, the buyer made me the offer. But I'm not going to keep these. I'm not putting them on a charm bracelet. So it's time to move them along. And when I looked up comps on eBay, the $20 was really in the range of what they are currently selling for. I paid about $3 a piece for these charms. Sometimes if I find a charm bracelet that has some really unique articulated charms, I will pay higher amounts. And, you know, then I just take them off the bracelet and sell them individually. So my total cost of goods was about $6, making my profit $26. That's just fine. I really hope this buyer thinks that these are as cool and special as I think they are. Okay, the next item that sold is this belt, and I believe it's by Greg Norman. It's a golf brand, and this had been listed for quite a while. This buyer came in and commented on my bundle. I had it listed, or on my listing, I had it listed for $31. And he commented and said, the last one of these sold for $15 with free shipping. Will you do that? And initially, you know, I was just annoyed because I don't like it when people make comments. It kind of seems like they're trying to devalue my item. I did later discover that I'm not sure that that was his intention. He said he was new to Poshmark and he wasn't really sure how, you know, how it worked. And so I just let him know that $15 with free shipping was just too low for me, but that I would do $15 if he paid the shipping. And then he couldn't figure out how to make an offer, and so I sent him an offer, and then he couldn't really figure that out. So it did show that he hadn't used the platform before. He did ultimately end up purchasing the belt, and he sent me a little thank you message saying, thanking me for being patient with him and answering his questions. So I do try to not get annoyed with people because you never know, you know, most people's intentions are good, and I really think his were. And I looked at comps, and you know, $15 to $20 was kind of the sold comp range for this brand of belt. I paid about $3 for it, so that made my profit only $9. But again, this had been listed for a little while, so I was ready to let it go. Okay, so the next sale is this pair of dance coats. These I just listed recently. I shared them with you guys in my haul from the Fair Court Rodeo Princess fundraiser sale. And when I was doing that, I didn't really feel like I got that much great stuff from that sale, but I've already sold, I think, 2 or 3 items that I listed. And granted, you know, they weren't huge sales, but I'm still making some nice little profits. These sold for $35. They were in overall nice condition, but they did have some, you know, kind of scuffs and wear. So I think I had them listed for $39, and the buyer made me that $35 offer. Can't remember for sure. And I still haven't figured out my average cost of goods from that sale, but I'm guessing it's about $5. So that would make my profit $23. I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. There is a field in front of the window that I work in front of, and someone is playing with their dogs out there, and there's a border collie, and he is just going crazy and jumping up in the air. And you know how border collies are so like athletic and stuff, so it's just a little distracting, but fun to watch. Did I say my profit was $23 on these? Dang it, that paper just ripped. So I'll have to repackage those. That's okay though. Okay, and then the next sale is also from a haul that I shared with you guys just from an estate sale where I got a bunch of shoes. These are Sorel boots, and they sold for $55. I paid $5 per pair. And these have only been listed, I would say, a month or two. So I'm happy about that. You guys know that Sorel just isn't quite what it used to be, but I do think this particular style that has the kind of wood block heel and kind of like, I don't know, these kind of like look like chore boots or a little Western. This style still does seem to sell well. Okay, so they sold for $55. I paid $5 for them. So that made my profit $39. Overall, I'm really excited about how this week is going so far. And like I said, I have been listing better this week than I did last week. Sorry, I just saw some hair in there. Also, me and another friend are going to go hit up some small town thrift stores in neighboring towns tomorrow. And so I just set a goal that I needed to list 30 items before we go on Thursday. Just trying to, you know, be a good girl and continue to work through some of this money pile, especially if I'm going to be going and buying some more stuff. I am trying to be very particular about what I pick up while still having fun and enjoying myself. That is why I do this. Okay, so that is it for today, but don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell, and hopefully, my sales continue to go well. I did kind of do an experiment with something, and I just listed it yesterday. So I had 5 of those brightly colored swung pulled glass vases from the 1960s, 1970s. I'll put a picture here. And Crazy Lamp Lady always talks about, or she did talk about those a lot in her videos and how valuable and how hot they were. And so I picked some up. I need to learn not to just do that. And I did sell a couple for over $100. But when she was talking about it, they were like $200, $300. And maybe I didn't know the brand names or the right styles. Anyways, I had these 5 vases listed separately. They have not sold. So I decided to put them together in a lot of 5. They're all different colors, different sizes. And I've done this in the past with candlesticks. And so I can't sell just a pair of regular brass candlesticks on their own, but when I put together a lot of 20 or 30, they seem to sell for really great prices. So I'm trying that with these glass vases. I did see someone else doing it on Cherish, but all of theirs were the same colors. They were just different shapes and different sizes. And they sold them for pretty great prices, like $600, $700 for 5 vases. So hopefully that extra work pays off. I listed mine for $895 because you know me, I always have to list them super high, but on Cherish you can't increase your price. You can only decrease your price. So I figured I'd start high and then, do reductions or whatever. Anyways, you guys will of course see if I sell that lot, and I'm always interested to try out different things to see if I can make more money or sell some old items. Okay, thanks again, you guys. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Friday and I've got a couple more really great sales to ship out. I'm very excited, and this week I just totaled up my sales and it turned out to be even better than some of my previous weeks, so I'm so thrilled. Okay, so the first item that sold is this Louis Vuitton multicolor belt. And I had mentioned in my previous week that I had picked up some of these multicolor items and that they weren't selling as well as the traditional items, but then I sold 2 this week. So maybe it is just fine. This is a really fun belt. It does have some scratches to the buckle. I picked this up on Poshmark right before Louis Vuitton re-released this Takashi Murakami multicolor print. So this came out originally, I think in, 2004, and then they re-released it shortly after that, and then they discontinued it. So it wasn't available for quite a few years. It kind of went out of fashion and the prices on these went way down. But then they announced that they were going to re-release this collection, and they had some of the same styles. I mean, the multicolor was the same, but some of the bags, the styles were different, and then some of them were the same. Anyways, the prices were double or triple what they were in 2004. This ended up selling for $380. I think that the re-released new one was about $695. And I looked at comps, and it looked like most of the comps were in this range or less. There were 1 or 2 that sold for over $500, and I couldn't really figure out why those ones sold for a higher price than the others. But I decided that I was happy with the $380, and as I've mentioned, with these, these sales with higher investments, I am looking at turning and burning them as quickly as I can. This was listed about 6 to 8 weeks, and I paid $75 for it plus tax, shipping, and authentication. So the total was $97. My cost of goods was $97. So that made my profit $207. I'm really happy with that. And one of the other reasons I accepted this offer and didn't wait it out is because initially Louis Vuitton made it sound like they were just going to do one relaunch of this multicolor collection and then they wouldn't have any more again. But they're already re-releasing more again. So the value of this vintage multicolor stuff isn't quite what I thought it might be. But still, I think that a $270 or $207 profit is really outstanding, and I'm really excited about that. I did include the authenticity. I have trouble spitting that out. Authenticity certificate from Authentic Detective. I have used them because I like that they include the certificate in the cost of the authentication. And I think that that really, you know, buyers really like having some sort of tangible thing to show that the item is authentic, especially when they are investing that kind of money. I know that I do, you know, if I am paying up for an item. Anyways, that is one of the ways that I try to increase the value of my listing or my item. I think I've already talked about what I did this week when I sold the other multicolor purse, but I will say that this experiment with buying and flipping designer items isn't without any hassles. So today I actually received another Louis Vuitton bag in the mail that I bought to flip, and I couldn't tell from the pictures, but it turns out it was fake. So that's one thing, is that when someone has poor pictures, you know, you can't always tell for sure if it's authentic from the pictures, but Poshmark has your back. So I got it. I could tell it was fake right away when I took it out of the box and saw it in person. And I opened up a case and they approved the return in less than an hour. So I will be sending that back. I went in and I reported the seller. I reported the listing that I purchased. She had also sold another fake bag, which I didn't realize at the time. So I reported that listing, and then I reported her profile all as replica. So hopefully they shut down her closet. I don't know if they actually do or not. I've heard that some people get away with selling fakes, but that's why it's really important, if you're not knowledgeable, that you have your items authenticated before you resell them or keep them. So the next item that sold is this cool Harley Davidson studded belt. Now, I realized after the fact that I underpriced this. It sold for $35. That's one of the downfalls of doing the 100 item listing challenge, is that sometimes I am in such a hurry to just get things listed that I don't do proper comp research. And it looked like on eBay, there was quite a few sold comps for these studded Harley belts, closer to the $50 to $70 range. This one did not come with a buckle though, it was just the belt. But you know, it had been sitting in my death pile for months and I hadn't got it listed. So if I didn't get it listed, I wouldn't even have had the $35. I just try and look at it that way, and I paid about $3 for this, so I still made a $25 profit. It sold in about a week or two. So, you know, you just gotta take the good with the bad when you're doing that kind of thing, and I'm happy to flip that and move it through. Okay, the next item is this really pretty sterling silver bracelet. It has these puffy heart charm links. It's really, really pretty. I got this at the estate sale where I spent $890. Comment below if you were tired of hearing me say that. Most of you, it doesn't sound like you are. I think you're as excited as I am to keep having sales from that big purchase. This sold for $63. It was sterling silver, like I said. Here I go, overthinking the packaging. This is just one of the things that I do. I only paid $3 for it, just like everything. I'm going to package it up off camera. I can't get it right for some reason. I paid $3 for it, just like every other piece of jewelry at that estate sale. So that made my profit $44.42. This took a fair amount of time to sell. You know, I think that sale was over 8 months ago, but still, I'm very happy with it. It's only Friday, but I'm going to end today because I think I have a busy day tomorrow and I'm not sure if I'll have time to ship. It was an amazing week nonetheless because I had those two designer sales. My total sales for the week were $2,154.30. Yes, exceeding $2,000 in sales in a week is just amazing. I sold a total, oh, let's see, my total cost of goods to sell that $2,154 was $712. And my total profit after any website fees, cost of goods, and any shipping discounts was $1,008.87. I finally exceeded my $1,000 per week profit goal, which I haven't exceeded in quite some time. So I'm really thrilled about that. And for those of you who watch regularly, that is a big contrast. Normally, I have a lot larger return on investment. So with these higher investments that I'm making to flip the designer bags, it is, you know, showing in my overall profit margins. But I think that there's a good balance of that with, you know, some of the items that I only paid $3 for and I sold for over 50. And I'm really having fun with this designer, you know, flipping these designer items. I am really enjoying it. It's really exciting to me for now. So I think I'm going to continue. Okay, so I sold a total of 18 items, or it was actually a total of 18 sales. There may have been some bundles in there. So that made my average sale price $119.68. Having that average sale price over $100 is just amazing to me. My average cost of goods per sale was $39.56, and my average profit per sale was $56.05. All really great statistics as far as I'm concerned. What do you guys think? I'm so excited to have another really great week. I have sold all but one of the designer bags that I bought for this experiment. I do still have 2 wallets and a planner. So 4 items, and I've sold 4 items within about 8 weeks of listing the items. So I think that is really great. And I've profited maybe like $700 or $800 in 2 months with the experiment. So so far I would consider it a huge success. So I'm really thrilled about that. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well and you guys are having great sales. Thank you so much for all your kind comments. The video where I talked about doing the 100 item listing challenge just came out and you guys were all very kind in the comments and said that it was motivating to you, which is why I share all of this. I really want to, of course, I like sharing my success. It's exciting, but I also want to help you guys be successful. And I think through sharing, you know, what I learn and what I do, it can help you guys. And you guys have said that. So I am so thankful that what I do is helpful to you guys. All right. Again, thank you so very much for watching. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. All those things really help me out and they tell YouTube that people like my videos. So then YouTube suggests my videos to more people, which helps my channel grow. Okay, thanks again. See you guys all again next week.